We are voices of the divine. Hearts awake and we don't deny. Truth is calling deep inside. No more fear, no more divide. We've seen the shadows, felt the pain. Yeah. But we're not here to live in chains. The fire's rising in our soul. There's a higher purpose taking hold. Divine GPMS, feel the call. We rise together and standing tall. This is more than just a name. We are here to spark the flame. Add your energy, take your stand. Then healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. We all unite and rise as one. Oh, yeah. No more shouting at the pain. We're the ones who bring the change. Yeah. We're not just seeing what is wrong. Yeah. We're creating something strong. From the ashes, from the dust. Ooh, we're creating something built on trust. Every soul that signs their name adds their light into the flame.
It's time for the whole world to unite and stand against the tyranny which is happening worldwide. And let it be known, the Divine GPMS is for everyone. Every nation, every race, every religion, every gender, and every soul.
No matter your past or your path, you are welcome here. We stand for peace, unity, equality, freedom, and love. This is where every voice matters, because every consent carries energy. So if you feel the call, trust it.
Divine GPMS,
Feel the call.
we rise together and standing tall.
Oh, yeah. This is more than just a name.
We are
Here to spark the flame. Add your energy, take your stand. Then the healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. Now ascension has begun. Oh, yes, it has.
Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide cumulative gathering of consents for every child, woman and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide. As outlined on the consenting website of Divine-gpms.world, it is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings to everyone. We are on June 21st, 2026. We are on Divine-gpms.world meeting with Rick George, founder of GPMS and High Priest of Melchizedek Order, also with guardians around the world, Agnes, Germany, Everson, Brazil, Aselma, Philippines, and Lodi, also Philippines. So, Rick, because this discussion about the rapture started to put other guardians that they are working for years with GPMS together and try to find details and how the others believe that this may work and or not for humanity. Please let us know where we are with the ascension today. And from this rapture event, what is happening and what it is the best for humanity. Thank you.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Sister Beatrice. With the rapture, let's say through the Great Awakening and the Ascension communities, one of the common things that was spoken about is a flashpoint, if you will, that is reached. Now, also a flashpoint is synonymous with rapture, with ascension. And typically, again, ascension is an upliftment in consciousness. Rapture is an upliftment. Flashpoint, if you will, is an upliftment into a new paradigm in the least. Where we are at, see, ones need to realize, and this is so important what we teach, it is your belief in God, your belief in another world, but your moral beliefs as well to do everything right, because this dictates where you are going and what you are going to experience. So, with the rapture event, that is still possible. And this month and in June, and with a rapture event, millions just vanish from the earth. And then once it's looked at, what you will see is many good Christians, many good souls, if you will. And these will be some of the ones that may just vanish and disappear. And this sends a huge message forward. One of the things, ideally, with the Great Awakening was to get the collective consciousness to such a point that a flashpoint paradigm shift would occur. However, that is still not the case because what you're contending with is resistance here on Earth and, let's say, psychological warfare by the darkness to keep ones enslaved. So there's been many variables that we had to contend with. Even though we keep giving the higher truth, one needs to be at a level of morality by doing their inner work. It increased their states of consciousness so that they can see and so that they can hear. And what this means is that they see differently, that their perspective changes. A great example of that is the Great Awakening. When an individual awakens, they see the entire lie of the world and the capitalistic beast system, what they were living in, where they had to labor, if you will, for money. But humanity is the real, every individual is the source, the unlimited source of value. So it is logical once again where ones need to work and compete for money and struggle to survive. That is nonsensical. It's primitive and it's absolutely ridiculous. So if you look at thinking that humanity is civilized while still following that old way, you come to see that there isn't deeper underlying intent with all of that. And I won't go into that fully now, but what I'll say with Divine-gpms.world, it is given from God to humanity to make the choice to do what's right. They can recognize their self as unlimited value and then just contribute to a worldwide society rather than this present capitalistic system at being a slave to society. It becomes nonsensical. So what's occurring? Uh, the latest, I haven't put this out yet. Some of the latest from Divine Council and Father is what we are looking at is over the next 10 years, what's going to occur at this time is that there's going to be integral levels of one's vanishing. So when you begin to look at a rapture, what's going to occur is what it's looking like there's going to be 10 raptures. Now, and the instruction is for everyone to prepare for this current one. And how you prepare is doing everything right, from love, from righteousness, morality, and also your belief is important to be aligned at least with a heaven on earth or heaven and God. These are requisites. They are prerequisites for every individual. And that's why when we say with a rapture, there'll most likely only be a few million, is because most of humanity has not evolved to that state yet. You have many that are in fear, many that are still deceiving, lying, are deceptive, if you will. So these things do not go forward in a heaven on earth reality. So, having said that, ones can't make that journey when they have such an accumulation of inner work that has not been done yet. And this is truth, and it's serious. And you may see worldwide most of humanity saying, no, we don't believe in that. But it doesn't matter. The truth prevails. This is the truth. So the moment that a rapture occurs, they begin to change their mind and they'll say there is something to this. So this is God's plan. So what we're looking at, uh, what has been divinely discussed in the higher realms, if you will, that there's looking like about 10 raptures. So every year there's going to be a certain amount that perhaps will be taken from this earth, but into a parallel earth. See, there are parallel realities. And I love using the park in Moscow, Russia, a little ravine in that park that is notorious for people vanishing over the years when a green mist comes there. But then some of them return years later, but where they were at, only a few days had transpired, but perhaps 20 years had gone by in this reality. And also, not only in Russia, I love Romania here. There's a very important documented story that many perhaps don't believe, but let's say I'd love to say that at least a good many do believe, where a man in Romania here left to go on the bus, I believe, to Macau one day and he never come back until 20 years later. And ones can research this. He had thought he was only gone for a short period of time. He just went to town, I believe, and that's how the story goes. And he only experienced one day of time. When he comes home, his family has changed and said he was gone for 20 years. These are very real stories. Up in Alaska, when you begin to look with indigenous peoples as well that know about these real things, Western society today may try to pass it off as myth, legend, folklore or stories, but these things are very, very real. Even though, let's say, Western society with the academics of it, a lot of it tries to diminish it because it's truth, and they didn't want the truth out there. So these things are very real. So what I'm given is that, and what you can see will occur when you have, let's say, many possibly rapturing from this earth, which is a big part of the light quotient. The conditions are going to deteriorate for those left behind, because then what you have is more of the fear paradigm. You already see with the 2030 agenda by the darkness that, let's say, things like digital ID, controlling your bank account, and also the militaries, what they are doing. Because what they wish to do is to turn this into a further enslavement planet. And the military is at the control of the darkness. That is the darkness enforcement arm to get people to obey. And you're already seeing examples of this. Military is aggression, it's war. No one needs to be a rocket scientist to see how this is nonsensical, it's savage, and it's primitive with military doing what they're doing, killing civilians and innocent children. It's absolutely preposterous. Fighting over something that everyone already owns, it's ridiculous. So, having said that, getting back, just to answer your question, at this time, this is what is being looked at, how it's going to be done. So each 10 years, and what this does after the first round of ones go to, let's say, the heaven on earth parallel GPMS world, if you will, that new earth where everyone is sharing and caring, then it's going to be increments every 10 years. And what occurs, let's say, if the first ones that go in the first wave of the rapture that go forward and transcend from this reality into a heavenly harmonious reality, then there are the ones that do not make it in the first wave. Then they know they've got more things to do, more inner work, and to make the higher choices. And this is what is divinely occurring. The Great Awakening is just not happening by chance. There is a supreme consciousness that's behind this. It is a divine operation, a divine protocol, and the divine will and plan of Father God. It doesn't matter if someone believes in God or not, it's happening. And this is the higher truth of it. And anyone, even if they don't believe in God, that's why GPMS is also logical. That once they look at it, they see it's the most sane, humane, and logical thing to do. So, this is what's going to occur, what I'm given. Those ready, ideally, what I wish to say is that with approximately 5 billion human souls on Earth, that all would go in the first wave. But what we're seeing so far is that even in light communities and what have you, we do not see the advancement yet in their characters to such a degree to be ready to let go. Because the choices need to be made simply. What do you see as value, yourself or the material world? That's a very important distinction that one needs to make because it's your alignment with your better world. If you keep in alignment with a material capitalistic world, your consciousness is going to keep you in that reality where it gets worse and worse because the capitalistic system is the beast system of enslavement. And their agenda is to enslave the entire planet, and anyone can see this simply. You see the digital ID, the military, and all of these things, what they're doing. So the military already practiced at taking in Venezuela a people's leader from them, just went in and took them. And that is absolutely absurd. Do you see anyone else really doing anything about it? No, you don't, because people that are segregated cannot. So the people need to unite, and this is also the ascension. It's what it is. It's a planetary ascension. Many of us have been here doing our best to liberate humanity. But what we see is many don't accept the truth yet. Many, as long as they have enough to survive on, they become complacent. You see false ones that come in and attempt to attack. At times, what GPMS is, they attempt to attack my credibility, others' credibility, and they do this intentionally because some of them are psychologically manipulated. They don't know they're doing it, but also some of them have a dark agenda. So these are just some of the variables that mixes and plays with the human consciousness. You've even saw it, and I believe perhaps all of you here have seen when you put a link of divine GTMS into a spiritual awakened community on social media, someone will come up and say it's a scam. And it's not. But this is an example of how it is intentional with what ones do to manipulate and to distort and separate ones. And they are notorious for this type of behavior. And these are ones that tend to separate ones away because these are dark tactics. And the biggest threat to the darkness on Earth is Divine-gpms.world. So everything is going at God's speed, if you will. But the people have to make the choice. We've given it as simple to humanity as possible. So what else are we to do but continue to go forward and each stay in your integrity and your connection to God?
Yeah, so for the people that they were a little bit confused, the new word that we said all the time, it is a vibration, not a location. The new earth should be here, but because the people did not choose GPMS in time, then another planet emerged, then million of us are moving into another planet. Temporary, or we do not know. Yeah, so Rick, I believe that, yeah.
No, did you ask, please excuse me and forgive me here. Apparently, Sister Beatrice, we're not live on Facebook there. Can you check that?
In my opinion, we are live, just a little bit. I will verify again.
Showing the video has ended, so I may need to reconnect.
You may need to recognize, probably, I do not know, just a little bit. 7 minutes. Okay. Only you as host can connect again.
All right.
When you try to streamline, if they do not, if the Zoom do not allow you, then you should be on the Facebook. If the Zoom allow you to connect, then we are off.
All right, let me try again.
I can't even check you, Rick. It looks like you've blocked me on Facebook.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so it seems that the meeting there ended. And if you wish to continue the meeting, you should get back on live stream. So
All right, looks like you're coming back on. All right, looks like we're working again. Do you wish to check it, Sister Beatrice?
yeah, I will verify just a little bit. Yeah, it seems that we are live back.
All right, great. It doesn't matter. You have it recorded here anyway, so we can take the recording from here because there was a lot of important information that I said there. So we have it recorded on this one. I think you usually record from the live, if that was correct.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But is it all right? You can get it from this recording?
Um, yeah, so right now it seems that we are back on Facebook. So my question
All
to
right,
you,
good.
yeah, so my question to
Yeah.
you, it was about the new earth. The new earth, we said all the time it is a vibration, not a location. So the people expected to have the new earth on this earth, but it seems because the people did not reacted in time to choose another system. Another program right now, it is developed with these 10 years. Then one time per year, some of the people will be leaving the earth. So basically, those that they do not awake, they cannot be transferred on the new system based because of others are awake. So they have to make their own choices. If not, basically, they will leave the hell on the place where we are saying it should be the new earth. So, um, so this is what I understand. I understand correctly.
And what was your question?
So it is about the new earth. We said all the time the new earth, it is a vibration, not a location. And we expected to have the new earth
Exactly.
here
Yeah.
on this planet.
If I may, yeah, it's your frequency, it's your vibration. What enhances your vibration is purity by doing all good things. Then your vibration puts you in this different reality. It'll be the same version of Earth. It just will be less people there. There will not be any darkness. That's why I use the example of the Moscow ravine, where these ones would vanish into the ravine. They'd be in a different version of Earth, but then they would come back, let's say 20 years later, when perhaps only a few days had elapsed for them where they were at. See, reality is not as it seems. And yes, it depends on your vibration, on your frequency. And if ones are consistently in fear and obeying this capitalistic B system, then their vibration is in alignment with a fear reality. It's not in alignment with a heaven on earth reality. So, right here, before we go to the heaven on earth reality, right now, with everyone that consents with GPMS, is making a choice as well where they want to go. And this is why the alignment in the consciousness is so important as well, because individuals are co-creators. And what you have in your mind is what dictates your reality and where you go. This is why we teach to ones you have to master the fear and stop supporting the old things. So once you're in alignment with the heaven on earth, then good, you've got your ticket bought, if you will. And then individuals began, if they have any final preparations and work to do, then they do their inner work to refine it. See, this reality that you're currently in is what I label purgatory. It's the top level of hell. And how the darkness controlled this world is through fear narratives and also deceptive narratives, so that they always could maintain a control. And one of the greatest things they use is war, because with war, they put fear worldwide that keeps people enslaved in their paradigm. But with this latest example, they, because money from the beast system is a control agent as well, what they do is they caused worldwide suffering and inflation as a result of the war to burden everyone into fear to attempt them to obey the darkness. So these are tactics of the darkness of itself to keep ones enslaved. Now, with the Great Awakening, it's from God. And this, no one awakened by chance. This has been all preordained. You just don't awaken by chance. Everyone is a soul that is awakened. And there is a reason that they're awakened, to begin to do their inner work and to be ready for the heaven on earth, at least. So frequency and vibration depends on what you have inside of you. If you've got hatred, if you've got vengeance, these are fair things that keep you trapped in this old reality. And the capitalistic B system is designed to create experiences for you that are based on fear to keep you trapped in this reality. Everything you eat and drink is important with raising your vibration. The pH level of your vessel is very important, and all of your actions and deeds are very important because it raises your vibration when you do all of the when you omit the things that diminish you, that demean you, that depress, suppress, and compress you. So once you take these inhibiting factors out of the way, you are also liberated, because you liberate yourself by making these choices. If that answered your question.
Yeah, it is because basically also the people are looking on the situation like it is a division inside of the families. On one disappear and cannot see the children and everything. So this is very hard for everyone. And even that they may say, yes, I will come back, but I will come back in years. So basically when the mother or the father is missing from this planet, and the child is led through the ID digital and everything. How this can be such a love and unify everybody and everything on the good direction when basically they are not there together to support each other. So I understand that
Well,
the protection has to be for the million because we were not supported by the billion. And this is the reason that we are keeping meetings and meetings and we have not the consent yet done. I understand that. But at the same time, the people that they are awake, they may have family, they may have children, that they may have pets, etc. And it's extremely hard to let them hear just to say, ah, do you know, I will go and I will visit another planet, then I will come back. And when I will come back to just pass through the
no, there's
digital, that
no, this is
probably
the
you'll be
thing.
not alive.
No, it's no coming back to this. No, no one does. You keep going forward. So that's a misconception that
No,
ones have out
coming
there.
back on the planet, we refer the two planets right now, yeah. So we refer the two planets that basically million of the people they go in another location like another planet. They do not remain. So until now, it was a split on frequency. All of us, we were on this planet, but million, we were on this planet, but with different frequency. Then basically, we were still able to support each other somehow, despite the difference on the frequency. But when million of the people are moving in another place, like another planet, they are not able to support their family through everything that they pass and to make them to understand. So there is no support for those that remain here. It is a split in physical.
It becomes their quick choice. Let's say if family is left behind, then they finally believe that the one was telling the truth where they went. So then the family begins to do their inner work and they may come in the next wave, if you will. Now, see, what occurs, Beatrice, is I see at times that ones twist and manipulate what is said, but they also try to add a human perspective into this. And this is when it begins to distort what is being said as well. And I've seen ones in the past. One of the common dark tactics is to manipulate things to separate people. You know, the most sensible thing for everyone to do right now is not to worry about who's going ahead and who's staying behind. Worry about yourself because everyone judges theirself by their choices. And this is important because dictates where the individual resides. But you'll have out there people saying this, people saying that, because it's all created for confusion. This is why I've always said, and I remain, that once one becomes aligned with God, keep it simple. Be aligned with God, be aligned with the heaven on earth, at least do everything virtuously and morally correct and get rid of fear. Replace it with trust and morality. So we keep it simple. It's each one judging their self. And when they begin to make up stories and distort things, that's where, again, I don't go in to attempt to explain again from another level of perspective. This has been with GPMS, if you will, with the levels of consciousness to constantly try to accommodate everyone's perspective. We would have a web page or a website, many pages. It's already many pages now. But even though we're given the different perspectives and the different truths, most of humanity's mindset is negative, that they'll only look for anything that is negative or anything that they can manipulate. So, but with the great awakening, the more that ones do their inner work, their consciousness raises higher. Then they're able to take themselves forward. Multi-dimensionality begins to activate, their vessels changes, and ones need to realize you're not going into a world where you have all this nonsense that you have here. There's not hatred, there's not violence, there's not ones attacking ones, there's not ones deceiving and making up lies and all of these. This sort of stuff does not happen in a harmonious world. And any that are propagation, that are a propagation of that, they judge themselves by their deeds of what they're doing. So again, it's about each individual. What do you believe in? What resonates? If GPMS doesn't resonate with you, and if what I say doesn't resonate with you, then it becomes obvious that it's not for you, especially at this time, because one's choices is what judges their self, where they'll be at, and what they are in alignment with, and what they have in their consciousness, what they have in their mind at any given time. So ones make up, we give the general information here of what's going on. And it's also quite possible that all children that under a certain age may go forward as well in this first wave, because they are innocent children. They become corrupted the longer that they are in the public school systems. They become more indoctrinated. So it's also possible all of the younger children, perhaps under age 12. Now, what I'm just saying is a possibility. I'm not saying this is so, but all of these children, if they still have their innocence, it's quite possible they could all go forward with many adults, millions of adults as well. You need to look worldwide too at Christianity. And when you look at that, there are many that believes in God, Christianity and Islam. When you look at these two, if you will, what you're looking at is about half of the world's population. So in a rapture event, who is to know what the actual numbers are? It could be 1 billion going forward in a first rapture. I cannot give you these numbers because it comes down to every individual's choice where they go.
Yes, so basically this human experiment for thousands of years by the darkness sacrifice our, how can I say, um, sacrifice the humanity even right now, because we are not able to move together in another planet to experience what it is good for everyone. Part of uh, the family of the people who remain here, probably they will come, probably no, or probably they may pass away. And the ID digital is the real prison right now. For the ID digital, it's nobody that can pass through. So even the actual million of the people under the ID digital, they will be shut down completely. So they will have no access to internet and nothing. So there will be absolutely no support. They will have nowhere to find basically the truth, even that the information of GPMS will be located in a website, but will be not spread via the system. So probably they may found, probably no, probably they may believe or not, or we do not know what will happen. So I truly believe that from 5.2 billion of people, only some few million that they are awake, and even that they are not, even that they are awake, they are not allowed to, how can I say, to remain with all together to move forward in order to make effort also in 2027 for the humanity, for to wake them up. And so basically, how can I say, what we are saying, the freedom advocates, they are put on a situation that there is no choice. They have to accept experience here ID digital, and for you that you are awake, it's extremely hard because you know what it's about, or move in another planet and let it everything here, even that you wish, really you wish with all your heart to help the other billion, do not remain under the ID digital. So for all the people to understand that we have not a choice. The choice is not given at this time. So it's not what we want. What we want is something else, but we have not a choice. So basically this humanity experiment, it's moving in such a way that by the end, nobody has no other choice. So it's letting with no choice, then basically pass away and go to the source, then you will see from there what will happen. Yes, Rick.
Yeah, and what you said is basically yes, there is no other choice. When you look at sovereign communities or even individuals, going to a cabin in the mountains to survive, if they still need things from a system outside, as you said, they're going to need some way to access that system. But if they're not part of the dark system, then they can't access it. Now, this is important because this means, let's say, sovereign communities trying to split off and think they can survive what is occurring. And we've touched on this before. No, they cannot if the people allow these things like digital ID to go forward. But again, GPMS is the most powerful tool for all of these protesters. Instead of wasting time protesting, spend their time with GPMS and gather all of these consents, and then you replace that evil system that's doing this. And again, the numbers have been here from day one, with perhaps 85 or 90% of humanity knowing that the current system is corrupt. But yet, one of the problems have been is reaching the masses and the people choosing the solution rather than fighting. Now, there's so many variables in this ascension, as I've said before. And what I've said earlier today, this is the updated divine information that there's going to be 10 waves, one wave each year. The information I got the other day was and I put out for whoever it resonates with, is be prepared. Get prepared again for 7 days. But not only this, with it, there's also a 30, from that time, a 30 to 33 day period, which takes you to July 19th, which is around, I believe, the feast of Mary Magdalene, which is actually metaphoric for the divine feminine as well. And with this whole transitioning, the world has to be in balance. It can no longer be a patriarch as well. And this is not what's in this new world. So we're actually, you could say with GPMS, this is the divine arc that is here in this reality, gathering those that are able to go forward. And that's what it's doing. And it doesn't mean that we have 5 billion of humanity before we go forward, because this is in Father God's timing with it. What it could mean at any time, if we got 407,000 plus consents now, it could be at any time 400,000 from GPMS goes forward to the new world, while it could be also some millions of Christians, Islamic ones that believe in it. I don't have the actual numbers. I'm given this information because the planetary ascension is real, the Great Awakening is real, God is real, and the divine plan is real. And humanity has to make a choice now because this world of destruction and causing harm to innocent children and people, it's not going to be alive for very much longer. So ones need to make the choice for the new world. And that's what's occurring. And when you look at a lot of the new age teachings, which is important as well, they'll say that everyone has free will. Yes, you have a free will of your choice. But the important part to add on to that, if you wish to raise yourself up by your free will, it's by making the higher choices. If you make the lower choices with your free will, it dictates where you're going to be at. So it's important for ones to know, and this goes back, Sister Beatrice, to what you said. Really, no one on earth has a choice. This is a very urgent time, what we are in. It's in reality for humanity, it's one of the most dangerous times for humanity. So it makes common sense to align with the highest truth that you can, what delivers you from this reality. Divine GPMS is the ark, it's the providence, it's the deliverance, it is the promise from God. And it's not just coming from Rick. This has been written in every major faith and indigenous prophecies worldwide. It's already been seeded. Divine-gpms is not a concoction by Rick. This is from Father. This is how it's done. This is the way. And people needs to make these choices sooner than later.
Okay, another question about the money, because it is still coming and coming on the discussion about the self-determination. Because GPMS means basically consent from half of the Earth population. And even that somebody is tomorrow awake and consent to GPMS, still do not have the GPMS system in place. But they are awake and they may try on their own to do the self-determination in a group or something like. So how this may start when basically they are under the weather situation, losing housing and everything. And at the same time, there is not a monetary system. And even that they understand part of the universal laws, they extract from the universal law some and they try to put on a paper and they try to educate the people, the other people to consent minimum in that group with basic common things and to have a start from somewhere. So basically they are the starters. But because even that they consent to GPMS will not happen tomorrow because it's about a lot of consents, okay? Billion of people consent. So in this situation, they still try to do something to survive here. How can they move forward, those awake, in a self-determination, a sort of self-determination develop when we have this kind of the weather and basically not a financial system and under the digital?
Right at this critical point, what I suggest for everyone is the best course of action for everyone worldwide is to be a member of GPMS as soon as possible to consent with it and give it to your communities. Any groups that is trying to continue to educate, let's say, about self-determination and looking for a way to survive in the system, they need to know the dark agenda, what they're doing it, what the darkness is doing with the digital ID, if you will. These ones need to know they don't have time to educate everyone. That's why GPMS is set up to keep it as a simple choice, pass the message along to everyone, and it needs to be done as soon as possible. Anyone that, and this remains consistent, what I've always said, for anyone to survive until we get this done, survive honestly, because the system is designed to create criminals. And where the beast system is still in force, if you don't survive, let's say, lawfully by what their terms are, then very quickly they can put you as a criminal and lock you up. So very serious decisions need to be made at once with ones. And again, we don't have time. We kept putting the information out there. But also, with this, there's many did not carry it forward. So again, to answer your questions, I believe I answered them. Yeah, continue to educate if you wish, but my honest, truthful opinion is I don't think you have time to educate everyone because that's why GPMS has been designed as a simple choice to get as many as soon as possible. Because again, this is a spiritual battle, if you will, that's being fought here on earth between the darkness and the light. And ones are so far reluctant to choose the light. And because of this, they are having worse and worse circumstances with trying to survive. And again, just like last night, I'm getting messages again from Uganda. One's asking, Rick, can you help us a bit with money? And my reply is no. I have very little myself, and I keep telling them, you've got to do GPMS before many of your children starve and die. You cannot sit complacent, but this is how critical it's getting worldwide. And I need to say this because people think they have the time to make a parallel monetary system or what have you. And in reality, they don't. Everyone is at the mercy right now of who owns and controls the internet. And who is that? That is the beast system itself. So if it wants to flick a switch, it don't matter what you have online, as you're saying, Sister Beatrice, you're cut off from everything. You're given a name tag and you become a prisoner to a beast system of all of Earth. And this has been provision, the mark of the beast. So people have to make the choice. It's very serious and you don't have time.
Yeah, what it was interesting with my Facebook account, it is that I created also, it is not about only my Facebook page. I created also groups, and in one of the group I posted a video from the Epstein file, Trump Epstein file, and children that they were there. This was the reason that Meta took over my account and said that could also my account, it is in a very high risk, could be deleted because I posted video with minors. So basically I am the criminal. So Meta did nothing on the Epstein, did nothing on Trump, did nothing for these children, but care that I am the criminal because I expose the truth. Okay, so things happen everywhere, and what I'm saying, even when things go wrong, if there it was a very good intention in the beginning, the people are still able to speak each other and to understand and to pass over things and let it go. But when it is extremely bad intention as it was inserted in this meta artificial intelligence, that it is a extreme bad intention to shoot down the freedom advocates, there should be no deal in the future. There is nothing. So are we able to correct meta artificial intelligence? If not, we will be under the pressure, do not be able to share the truth out. Because it's not about humans, and behind this meta, it's for sure not about humans. It is about darkness. So it's like, so what I'm saying, it's all the time starting from the intention. The intention there is no good. There it's darkness. There is no deal. Cannot be deal in the future. Like, you know, even when things go wrong, if the intention was good, there should be a discussion. But if meta, never. And this is the reason, not because it is artificial intelligence only, it is because behind of that, it is the agenda that is developing. So I am not saying yes or no for another planet or something like. In general, I'm open to a lot of proposition option, but um, um, my heart it is with all the billion of people that they will experience the ID digital, and they are not, how can I say, it is the darkness that program us to be like that. And things happen because of the darkness, because our strange of the DNA were not open. And why they need to suffer and to, so basically to relieve from them from the suffering. This will be so great, even that today it isn't a plan of 10 years or something like. If tomorrow could be another plan, do not let this billion to suffer and bring them in to create the new earth even on this planet, to end suffering and everything, I would say then there I'll be happy. So today, even that it is given to me, I would say even that somebody is coming and saying, do you know, you'll go on another planet and for you'll be, everything is good. I'm saying I'm not happy because of billion that I know that I let them in this way. And another thing, even when they push me, even that I experience at the time, it doesn't matter what kind of the emotion, all the time I understood them because they are not able to see what I'm seeing. So again, I wish to be another plan for all the world here on this earth. If it is developing another planet, it should be just good because we can have many planets on this way. But also for all the people on this planet too. And basically come together as brother and sister on this, how can I say, universe. And if it is still another planet that it is harm like it is Earth, should be really our help also there, because our experience here bring up to some knowledge that maybe we may be on how can I say, on help also for other planet in the future. But don't let this planet to go on this way under ID digital and everything. If we could develop or accept another plan tomorrow for all the billion that remain here, will be just better. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your great compassion, sister. You know, again, I need to state practically and logically, GPMS right from this moment could be done in 7 days if the people would just choose it. Then your dream, if you will, of with your great compassion, like mine, for all of humanity and all the children, we could have it done in 7 days. but it needs to be also practically realized that the people are not choosing it, because a lot of people yet are selfish and are in fear. And because of these things and influenced by the darkness, because of these things and more, it's causing this complication. When I said 1 to 10 years, what I'm given, I don't know if I'm going in this first wave or if I need to stay until 10 years. Because there's also another important thing. For those that try to go first, they would go last. But I'm not trying to go first. See, the ones that try, if you will, to go first to escape this, that's for selfish reasons. And they don't go first, they go to the back of the list. However, with I and who I am immortal for all time. I've worked directly for Father God. So I obey what Father God says. And if he says for me to remain here for another 10 years, I do that. But with this divine plan, it's changing from moment to moment because the people are changing it by not choosing it as well. And this is what's causing the increased suffering worldwide. And that's why I say it's only going to get worse and worse. The great awakening occurred for ones to awaken to the evil of governments in the capitalistic system. They were awakened to see this. There's more than enough information out there. It's saturated with information, but at the same time, you have distortion that is mixed in there, that it's manipulated by the darkness to control the consciousness of ones as well. So there's many variables we're contending here with. But honestly, right from my heart, again, there are so many great light souls out there in different communities. And with our brothers and sisters, they should have ideally already been here. They should have been able to identify simply what GPMS is. Yet we don't see them. But with God and everything is possible, that in the blink of an eye, they could all be here. It only takes one very perhaps extravagant, disastrous event on Earth to wake more up to that next level of knowing why they came here to Earth, what they're actually here to do. So with that, it could occur. With God, everything is possible and miraculous when one believes, because your belief is an alignment as well. Your belief is a trust in God, and trust in God is what delivers the individual as well. Because once you trust in God, you change all of your ways because it's no longer just thinking or believing, it becomes a knowing. Because once you are in alignment with God, through your experiences very quickly by making the higher choices, you get the feedback with confirmations. And this confirms that it is so and that it does work. You'll see many that, and we've seen ones in the past that keep fighting against it, even though they're souls and they were scheduled to move forward. But you see, they keep repeating in loops because they did not create the change in their self. If they got hatred, got fear and anger in there, they'll keep attracting that because they don't have trust in God. And this is the separation when they think they are just the God or goddess within, but they don't have the missing link to know that there is a superior conscious entity as Mother and Father God. If they don't have that, then they keep looping in a survival situation and they keep creating the same things from them. So again, we do our best with it, But how are you going to accommodate every perspective? As I said in the beginning, ideally, it would be great if GPMS can be done on Earth and we save all 5.9 billion souls. That would be great and it would be beautiful. And I know we would all love it. But also at the same time, with that 2030 agenda, look at the mass genocide attempt that was put on humanity 5 or 6 years ago when it began. Look at what's occurring. So, with that, ones need to realize they're dealing with the darkness and they need to make a choice. Do you stay agreeing with the darkness or do you create the good world? And this is the thing. When the majority does it with GPMS, make that simple choice, then we can do it. And as I said before, that a 12-year-old child could run this world so happily for everyone with the GPMS model because it's designed for everyone. There is no hard work. Everyone's working together. Everyone is in harmony. They're in peace. They're in love. So would you need anyone like a 12-year-old child to do it? No, you would not even need a 12-year-old child to run the world because the people would be running the world themselves by their good choices and coming together. And this is different than what you have now. And you take out the two controlling factors of the beast system, money and artificial laws. That they use their artificial laws to create what they call criminals when they are the actual criminals themselves. And they do that so they control humanity. So GPMS sets humanity free with the divine system. And it's the collapse of the dark system once the people choose it. We've kept it simple. It's a simple choice. Takes 3 seconds. If you use a autofill or 3 minutes to fill out the consent. And really and truthfully, at this point in time, we should have already had the majority of consents worldwide because every reasonable parent should have had their children, their self in there, and especially all of the feminine in their hearts that in the past know more of how this world is corrupt than what the masculine do. And really and ideally, and it is beautiful, we have, I believe, 2 masculine here today and 4 feminine. And this is a proportionate example of the great love and compassion and knowing of the feminine. So there's so many things, to contend with, but yet we can keep it simple. A simple vote. Come on, people. You have to come together worldwide now and do this because this is what lawfully renders the beast system obsolete forever. Anyone that consents with GPMS is one of the world's greatest heroes, if you will, masculine and feminine. And that is the truth of it as we go forward. There is no going back. Everyone sees that. You have to make a choice to go forward, and you have to make it now. As for what's Rick going to do? I continue here on Earth with GPMS and telling the people, come on, you've got to do this now. But if Father says it's time to go, in this first round or the third round, I go because Father is the highest, and I know this. Thank you.
Yeah, so Sister Lodi, how GPMS is moving in Philippines? Through all the weathers.
Yes. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. Um, I just like to share my thoughts about uh, what the discussion is. Uh, my insight, the first time I heard or I see that it was said that the light has already won, I have that feeling of trust that so it is. The light has already won, and what we are going through right now is just the process of ascension, and we as guardians are guiding the collectives through that process. So whatever is happening along the way, it's part of the process. There's no um there's no need for me to feel desperate, doubt, or emanate a negative feeling that will just feed the darkness. So I'm trying, or I am keeping my trust in the process because the decision is already done and our destination is already set, and it's just waiting. We are just waiting for the collectives to be ready. Uh, whether it will be an immediate rupture or accelerated ascension is up to Father to decide, because he sees everything that's happening to us. And I'm very sure that we are all on his hands. Nobody, no one of the volunteers will suffer much more than what you are going through right now. So I am in full trust that whatever we are going through right now is just part of the process, and we will endure until the end. Our success is already declared. We are just being tested how we are going through our mastery.
Yeah.
And as for the activities of the guardians here, uh, like what I've said last meeting, I've been experiencing that some are taking their rest for a while, but some are getting connected again and volunteering to be active. So there are days that I think I I'm I'm given a day off from the laptop, but there are days that names will come in even if I am not expecting those brothers and sisters to be connecting with me. So I really do believe that God's hand is working behind all of this. And we are getting through. For sure, we are getting through. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lodi. Yeah, so the reason that some people lost um, the connection with God, it's by trauma that they suffered during the wartime when they saw other passing away, and they were asking, where is God? And it is, I would say, a little bit if we describe like an example, for example, a human then arrive in an emergency and can do nothing, is not able to answer yes or no to the doctor if he agree or not with the procedure that it is needed, then the doctor is taking away, does not need to consent to save him and to bring this human in the shoes that later can choose by himself or by herself what will be doing. So this is what I hope for humanity, that it is extremely ill because of this programmation and everything. And I really hope that how can I say, one day I will hear that we are able to find a solution here on Earth, no ID digital and everything, and basically these 5 billion of people, they are able somehow to integrate until in a sort of movement until they are able to see, because right now they are not able to see. But from the number that we share, we are 407,000 with GPMS, and it's about 1 million of people that they are awake and they may have the possibility to move in another planet. So their crystallization process, it is high enough. Right now, it seems that there are many, even that they are awake, they are not with GPMS. And this is again what I said all the time. It is also because of the information was not shared by many. We were all the time few to share. And even those in the pyramid system in power, some they rejected to share GPMS there. This does not mean then the human that never hear about GPMS should be in the was not basically on the possibility to choose GPMS until now. Probably will have the possibility to choose in the future, but I do not know how because of this ID digital. So this ID digital, it is really something that has to disappear. So I truly believe that it is too much for humanity already. And to come with ID digital now, after years and years, ID digital, and from there other kind of stuff, injection and lockdown, and again everything, I truly believe that it is too much for humanity. I hope there will be a relief soon. Because by the end, the people are very ill because they are programmed and because of the toxic environment, including information. And I truly believe that humanity needs to find love enough from the Father, Mother, God, and probably a way will be found for them, exactly as I said before. When we are on the hand of the doctor, we are in emergency, not possible to choose for ourselves, then the doctor is taking over and it's saving the body until the individual is able to function somehow and to decide and say thank you. I hope that this might happen. Brother Everson, you are already doctor, you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I was thinking about what Sister Lodi said. I was thinking about well, if we are linear, we think linearly in about time. Well, I'm trying to back a little bit and think about my life. 20 years ago, I was not particularly spiritual, or I knew that God exists, but not something that affects my day-to-day life. And the time shows by many guidance, many divine orientations that brought me here where I am now. It makes no sense. This long choices that I have been doing brought me here, and there's bad things going to happen. It makes no sense. It's getting clear, better. I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm learning more things. My awareness is larger than yesterday. So, yes, we think that difficulties appears, and but it's this the process. Every time we deal with difficulties, problems, and it makes no sense that this situation is not going to solve or not going to change. It will going to change because there is a plan, a divine plan. So it's going to happen. If you're back a little bit and look your life, what brought you here, look, God is directly affecting our lives. Yeah, I trust in God perfectly. There is no doubt. But there are hard times that we have to deal with the day-to-day life. But you look at, go back a little bit and see your life, where you came from, and where are you now? Yes, that's I was trying to add to Sister Lodi. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, our son. Right now, Sister Agnes from Germany, how GPMS is receiving there, and from your reaction, I see that you are very in alignment with moving in another planet and letting billion here, and they will wake up and they will come probably later. So what it is your perspective and how GPMS it is received in Germany?
Yes, wonderful to be here today. And what came to me that we have at the moment very high temperatures. It's very, very hot. And yeah, what came to me that we still have here nearly clean water, but there are countries and places where it is much more hotter than here. And it's hot, really terribly hot. And the people don't even have clean water, food, and all these things. And this is also the part of Divine-gpms.world when we implement this, that we have all free, and also the impact of the people which already choose Divine GPMS. So what Brother Rick said, they are heroes because it's such a big part that we choose it and we made a step forward. And when the moment happens, maybe then some people realize then this, but it would be wonderful when the people realize it's now what we can change with the implementation, and just only with the consent. Just read page Divine-gpms.world and it's the shortest time is 3 minutes maybe. And with such a small thing, we can change this together, and we have much more power, every one of us, and then together than some people think. And I'm very thankful and grateful for all these people. And I know from Philippines, from Sister Lodi, from every week, which we know that made it, and another one also collecting the names and consents, but also people with sharing and talk about it. Just yeah, how special and how powerful and how near we come to the point that it's a change in a blink of an eye. Yes, and yeah, that's what I can share today. Thank you very much.
Yes, so thank you so much. But what can you tell us about this perspective that a million may go in another planet and billion of the people who remain on Earth under the ID digital, how they can move from the ID digital in another dimension, what may happen, what it is your perspective for those that remain here? You are mute, Agnes.
Maybe at first step, just go in silence with himself, just to come to the heart. That's the first step, what I would say. And so what I said already another week, all of us, there's already so much said and written. So that's one thing, just to read and to hear, but just to hear inside, yeah, what is answering. I see that everyone has to find the answers inside themselves, not yet answers. Yeah, maybe it is. Yes, that's what I can answer to this at the moment. Thank you very much.
Yes, so basically to find the answer inside of ourselves, this means time, but the time will be not like we experience today. The people will be under the ID digital, so this is a real jail. So there, it's extremely hard to pass through. That is the problem. And it's coming with everything back. Lockdown, injection, probably everything.
Yeah, the another thing is the people have to stand up, of course.
Stand up how? Because under the ID digital, believe me, I try. I was in the parks and the camera was on the parks too. I know what ID digital means. So basically they are able to know everything that you speak with everyone in the parks or in the street. And they will be so intuitive that basically everything that you are looking for over the internet, they'll find your idea, then they will understand who you are and they will come very hard on you via the system, because the ID digital, it's a real prison that is coming with taxation, with a lot of problems. So the system can bring you in a lot of problem. So from there to stand up, because it is an effort to stand up. It is not something that you sleep well and tomorrow you just go. It is inside of you. It is, how can I say, it is an action that is happening. So it is a fire inside of you that is bringing you on the street and everything. So imagine how the people will be. So how can I say, we need still those that they will be calm and they can see what is happening and they explain to others, but there will be fear, will be desperation because the contact will be not, the people will be not able to be in contact with each other. So I passed through that. And we were extremely few and many shut down their freedom accounts. They were not able to keep that. So, yes, Rick.
So you're looking at a worst case scenario, if you will, Sister Beatrice.
No, I'm looking for a
And
solution for them to send them like a solution what they can do under the ID digital to move forward. This is what I'm looking for. When there is no law implemented, and there is no money, another system as money. How the people from there, they can move on their higher dimension and to be able to move in another planet to save themselves, but at the same time they are inside of the families, and there will be another show there. Because I know I
well,
understand ID digital. This is why I'm speaking.
what I say is never exclude God in the miracles that can be created. What you're looking at is with digital ID, again, as several brothers and sisters here have said, when you look at this, and practically, the majority of the people are not going to accept it. They're already rising up and protesting it. So it does not matter, let's say, if the darkness shut down the internet and denied all of the people access to these areas. The simple truth is that the darkness doesn't have enough military or dark ones to control the majority of humanity. So again, it's all about numbers. It's no way that they're going to control humanity. But what occurs is the longer that humanity does not unite and go with the divine GPMS, then it's going to get harder and harder and harder. And this is where we say there is no choice. But the thing is that God has already intervened on earth with divine GPMS and made it easy for everyone to choose to do the right thing. So, with these digital IDs, if you will, and what's going on with that, never exclude the power of God to intervene in this. And importantly, connected to this, a surveillance satellite over California come down the other week. The satellite had the capability to zoom right in and see what you were reading if you were outdoors. But
Yeah,
this is
I
only
know.
the first of many. There's a lot of space debris that is set to come down. So not only are you going to be having meteorites that you think are rocks, you're going to have a lot of space debris come down as well, because what just has occurred in the last week is something above the earth has happened to also assist humanity at bringing down a network of surveillance. So, always, yes, there is that struggle, but it's also necessary to make the people stand. It's all about your perspective. Don't look at things bad, as brothers and sisters here are saying. They look at it, they keep their trust, and they know that God is real, and we continue forward with the plan no matter what happens. If a million raptures, divine GPMS is still here, and you still have ones that are taking it forward for the rest. God is brilliant and everything is provision, yet everyone needs to make the choices. So it's important, don't go into a great fear, because as I always say, if you've got these fear paradigms in your consciousness, then you're actually putting energy to a digital ID. When if you are a guardian, your consciousness should be in the positivity, the trusting God, and take it forward no matter what. And as I said, every individual on earth has been judging their self over the last several years by their actions. And it is the self-judgment. The judgment days are very real. Having said this, so we continue forward, and we got to keep it positive for the others. The last several weeks, we've been dipping down into a low vibration. I've been getting reports from some just saying the meeting is so low vibration because of we had to go down deeper into these truths, because these meetings were not for these individuals. It's for the individuals that we need to reach, that we're not listening. So the vibration of the meeting has to go down there to get the message out to these ones, as we're doing. But also, there comes a time when we got to go back with the positivity in our meetings. Now, having said that, Sister Beatrice and I and Catalin, I believe, we're going to be doing uh, let's say it's a private radio podcast, I believe. We're going to be doing that for GPMS on Tuesday evening. It's also possible, I'm not sure, I didn't speak with Father much, but some of you will remember in the past that I had mentioned I may need to soon start my ministry on earth. And having said that, what is also looks like it's coming up, that it's possible next week I may be speaking with children in Pakistan at giving the word of God. And I may be doing this online with a pastor that has contacted me to speak with the beautiful children in Pakistan. So now this might be a beginning, but when you look at this, to speak with the children, I'm going to be giving them the God truth, and to let them know that a great good world is coming, and for them to choose it and not be in fear and trusting God and keep doing everything right. So, this will be part of it if I do it. But this could be just the beginning of I with a ministry that may suggest I may be here for another 10 years. For as I said, I'm immortal. It doesn't matter if 3 million souls disappear, let's say in 2 days' time, and I'm still here. It doesn't matter. I continue with the Word of God and with GPMS. But if it's such a thing that I go, perhaps, Sister Beatrice, you are here to take things forward. We
No, I do
always
not have
with the
here
light.
what I am speaking about ID Digital. It is because ID Digital is right now the subject. And all the time when we had subject to discuss, I bring the subject also inside of GPMS. And I hope that the audience that is looking for the ID Digital, like freedom advocates and everything, because of the discussion about the ID Digital, they may find the video, then they will find also divine-gpms.world. So I all the time I bring up what is happening. Do not lose the contact with the reality, with what is happening also on the system, even that I know that the system, it is the one that has to move away. But it is because the audience that it's looking to our meetings that knows already GPMS, they are already in GPMS. But others that they are not in GPMS, we should attract them with subject on their understanding. And right now, for the first time, it is seen about the ID digital subject. It is for the first time seen another perspective, because everybody that is speaking about the ID digital, it is basically in fear. We cannot move, we cannot. So yes, we know that. At the same time, this was also, I was prepared to speak about this situation, how the people may move forward inside of an ID digital on Friday. But it was a very short meeting for many at the time, and probably I will be led to develop more in the future. So I tried to find for the people solution, basically to see that there is also a possibility to move forward even when they are waiting for GPMS to happen. Because yes, GPMS has two major points, has the law and has the money. And many people are stuck, are saying we cannot move without money, or it does not matter the law, if the law, if it is implemented or not, we can move with some moral things that we know. And I said it is all the time good to have implementation of universal laws in place, because universal laws are based on principle, not on rules. And when it is something that it is developed on principle, every situation that will happen inside of that system will have a correct reference and will find a solution. But basically on the rule, you'll start like the actual system where the law needs to be changed to change, because the rule is never enough to cover all the possibility, all the option. And also, so this is the reason, my reason, one of the reason for the implementation of universal laws, and this is the consent with GPMS, and also about the money, because we have groups that they are working on other kind of system for the money, or they are looking to develop something locally, exactly as you mentioned before about communities. Long discussion about communities, what we can make force the communities with those that they are awake, or to be working for the system. And I'm all the time on the opinion, it doesn't matter the community that you develop, it is good to have the system, because if not, the community cannot resist in time. As you mentioned before, the people still need money, then there will be an interference with the actual system, then basically they arrive again inside of the actual system. So we need to get rid of that. This is the only solution. So just for the people to understand, the ID digital, if tomorrow happen exactly as you mentioned, they have each other. So they rely on each other, then they have to unite and start from there. I do not know how, because the internet will be not helping. So we hope that probably there will be enough mass dissemination about GPMS, then they will start to hear. Then when they will find no other solution, they will find divine-gpms.world, then they will come. So we'll see how things move forward. And everything that I'm saying, it's that I'm just not happy that only million are awake at this time, and 5 billion are not. It is a very high number, and I wish a strategy or something that will make them to survive on their body and to ascend enough to find increased level for everyone. So it is like a mother, basically. When you have many children, you wish for everyone. You are not saying, oh, I have already one or two, so, oh, great. Yes, it's great. But at the same time, you are all the time concentrated on the other 8. What the other 8 they can do, so what we can do more for the other 8 to get on their shoes. Yes, Rick.
Here. I saw you mention twice that 1 million awake and the other 5 billion not. What I wish to make clear is that most of humanity is awake at some level. There's many more than 1 million that are awake. As I said, the majority worldwide are already awake. So I wanted to make that clear. When I use numbers like 83 or 85 to 93% of the population, when I use those numbers that they already don't trust government, they are already awake to a certain level. The things, when you ask me things on here about ascension, I am an ascension teacher and guide, and I give the highest of what's occurring. But what happens is a lot don't know what I'm saying. And it's because of this as well that perhaps we should not be speaking much on these meetings about that because levels of consciousness have not reached that heights yet. So this goes in alignment, with what you're saying. We could look at a world problem, but at the same time, we've got to give the practical, simple solution of GPMS.world. But for me, explaining the higher dynamics of creation and what is occurring and what may occur with that, it goes over many people's heads. They don't even know what I'm speaking about. And if they try to understand, they create a different perception of it, which begins also to distort what I'm saying. So it needs to be known as that as well. When I put things out, and I've done this in the past, and I may need to do it again, when I put things out and it doesn't resonate for one, it's not for ones. I am a teacher of teachers to inform ones. So what we're doing with this, yes, it's good to perhaps keep it simple with the ascension, and that's what perhaps I should be doing instead of giving the higher, deeper truths, because that's when I see that I began, uh, ones begin to not understand correctly what I'm saying. So, having said that, our membership website, I anticipate we'll have it up shortly. There are certain things that occur with divine timing, and we don't have it ready yet. And I believe it'll take about a day's work to get this done. And I anticipate it sometime in the near future. And as we said, I put out a post this week with Telegram. I had I think two perhaps in this last week or two that said, they don't have enough money and that Telegram wants to, they have to pay for it to be on there, and they can't. But the great news with this is we're creating the membership web page that it's absolutely free for all the members, and everyone can begin to gather there. And when I look at all of our groups on Telegram, there's been very little activity because it appears also that many are not on Telegram again. But also, we see this, with the other social platforms like Facebook and what have you. So we get the membership website page, get that up as soon as possible. We're still working on it. Um, so with that, we keep going forward, and for any, again, I'll bring up, we have the equality and goodness statement. It's on our landing page of GPMS, and it'll also be on the membership page. And it's an important, let's say, lawful statement in itself, so that we don't have ones coming in attacking other ones, causing disharmony. That's not goodness. We're about everyone working together in harmony and not making up lies and making unfounded accusations and these sort of things. So this also keeps more of the harmony, because if someone does this, they're not in goodness. It's that simple. So one last thing, if I may. Uh, so what we're seeing with the current flares on the sun, we were told, I put out a few days ago, it's a preparation period. So everything from the sun affects the human soul's physical vessel here. It's like, you take any plants, they need the sun to grow. So the human vessels is the same as that. So what we're seeing is an increase of M1, M2 flares. Quite possible we could have some X flares with this, because it does things with the DNA in your vessel. So there are upgrades that are going on. Some of the symptoms, fogginess, tiredness, where you have to lay down at any time during the day. You might had a 12-hour sleep, get up for 2 hours, and all of a sudden you feel you've got to lay down again. These are common symptoms of what's occurring, and I suggest for no one to go against it. If you need to lay down, it's best to do that. Also, your food and your drink, keep it as pure as possible in this period. It's very important, as well as any, continue your inner work at changing your old ways to have everything in alignment with what is good and in alignment with God. The nectar, also, just to report again, it's coming out of my physical vessel and many more new places as well. Well, more places, I should say. So just over the last week, you have it too. I'd love to just I've been so busy, and there's not been much individual um conversation with Divine One. So I'd like to know here, yeah, who is experiencing
Oh,
like
yeah.
my hands are almost sticking together. So
Yeah.
can we have
So
an
yeah,
update?
so the sticking together, it's is many times. Here I experienced in the last days and the last weeks a cold that is happening, and basically I feel my energy on the head and I feel the energy above the head. It is energy there extreme. It is extreme here, and it's moving with my hands. I am able to move the energy. It is incredible over my hands. So the feeling even that remain there, if I want to move the energy here, I can move it here. And it is here coming something. I'm not able to, and here, so but it's basically here. It's here, somewhere. So this is what I feel, and I try to go there to see if I find something, and sometimes it's moving on the hair, probably is not enough, but yes, it's true. And my decision right now, because I was using still hair color, my decision after I saw everything, I cannot support any kind of hair color that contains some artificial things. It's very hard for me after that. So right now I can see the influence. Until now I was not really able to see that. I knew, but but right now I can see the influence. Then I had no other choice. Then I said I have to go towards reversing gray if I want to do not have the white or something on the hair, because it's not possible to put color that it is artificial anymore. So right now, basically, my body does not support that. So the decision was coming simple in this way. So this is because of the things that happens. Yeah. So. Yes, it's true. So yes, it is real. And I feel my body is like moving a little bit on the soil. So I do not feel the kilogram, the pounds that I really have. It's like I'm I'm like a butterfly a little bit, a sort of, even that I touch the ground, so I have no problem touching the ground. Um, yeah, so and I find more and more people telling me I'm not with the head on the earth. I am somewhere. My perspective it's all the time very cosmic, very so I have to come to speak for the people to be able for them to understand me, what I'm saying more on the earth solution and everything. So um yeah, so basically I can speak in both, but right now when I try to speak on very earth things that happens, even that I know them very uh, I do understand them because I have also the preparation inside of the system and I have the knowledge, even that it's not a happiness to speak about that, but it's still necessary for some level of consciousness to develop subject. Then by, for example, by sharing ID Digital, we spoke about ID Digital today, even that after that we involve the solution about GPMS, but yes, it is about the iDigital. Many will click there. Minimum, they will make the effort to click because they will be interested on the subject. If I'm speaking about probably other kind of subject, I do not know. So basically my, how can I say, I'm like a mother. So the one that suffered the most should be done something also for, if possible, how much is possible. So I really feel that, and this is why I'm saying it's not because I am not on direction to move in another planet if necessary or God decides. I even try to prepare me when you said in June 18 there will be only 7 days. I said okay, in 7 days I will be okay to move. Then I'm basically during this time probably Monday I will have everything done to move out if necessary. But what I'm saying is that the happiness, my full happiness will be if we can create GPMS here on this planet. It does not matter if the other planet is beautiful, is great. But if we can do here, I will be really happy. This is my message. Because I wish to see all people on their shoes happy and not on this kind of situation. Yeah. So regarding everything, it's yes, I feel like that, and it's moving forward on this way. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for the ceremonies and all the intervention because it's real.
Sister Agnes, how about you? Are you experiencing any of the nectar or crystals even coming out of the skin?
Yes, it's also mixed with the heat, but I have it, I feel it in my hands. And also a little bit with the top with the heads behind a little bit. Yeah. So what I something sometimes and it feels good.
Excellent. Thank you. Just before I asked, I believe Sister Lodi next, I'm going to share a funny thing. I was sitting on the toilet the other day, and when I went to get up, my buttocks and my was kind of like stuck to the seat. So just to share the lower part of my buttocks, it's coming out there as well. And it was quite funny, you feel back with your hand and it's all sticky from the nectar. So it's coming out in many places. Yeah. Sister Lodi, do you wish to share where it's coming out on you at, if you will? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The nectar also, I always feel it in my hand, even if after washing with soap. So it's always there. And also on the top of my head, I feel it on my hair. And the dense energy every time I'm in the crowded area. So I'm always yawning. So I feel that I am releasing those dense energy that I am attracting from the crowd. And also with my knees, I've noticed some noise every time I am moving downstairs with my knees. And some pulsation on the side ribs. When I am lying down, I notice that also. And here on the down the ears on both sides, I've also noticed that. And bloatedness. Yes, it's always the bloatedness. And sometimes I feel always thirsty that I am drinking almost every 30 minutes during the day. So, and I know I attribute it to the ascension symptoms that we are feeling. Yes. And the hot flashes in early morning. I also have that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Lodi. Yes, a lot more things that you shared, and also likewise here with the very beautiful and important time with our physical vessels. Yeah, Brother Everson, are you experiencing any of the nectar or any of the symptoms, if I may ask? Thank you.
I observed back of my ears. There's something getting out of here. I couldn't see what is going on, but both sides there is something here. That's just that I observed.
Was it stickiness, or that could be just your ganglions growing too down the back of the ear? Um,
It's something like grains. Something I sometimes I pass something gets something little grains from the
oh,
skin.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you turn your neck sometime, you'll hear all the crackling inside of your neck as well. And some of these crystals will begin to pop out. The other week, I had one divine brother had things going on around his neck below his ear as well. So yes, these are also things too. Yeah. Thank you, brother. What about and Selma, does she have anything to share, Sister Lodi? If she doesn't speak all English.
Sister Anselma, nandyan ka pa ba? Sister Anselma, are you still there? Nandyan ka pa? She has her camera off. I just like to share that the buzzing in my ear, it's getting louder. Both ears. I often notice that.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
Sister
Do you,
Anselma had fallen asleep.
yeah, yeah, just do you mean buzzing or do you mean frequency, like pitches and tones?
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and the Merkaba, your Merkaba is an energetic field, so ones may begin to hear that whooshing in your
Mm.
ears as well when it becomes more activated. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a question of why I'm feeling sometimes because in the last week I felt 3 times. So it's starting something like a frequency to hear. And but it's all the time on the left side. It's not on the right. So it's not simultaneous in the both sides. It's only on the left. I know
Mm.
that it is Merkaba moving, but I do not know why it's only one side.
Yeah, yeah. But with the individuals, it varies like one ear, either left or the right, or both ears as well. So it's I like to say it's unique to the individual, but the main point is at least you can hear it in one ear. And with I, at times it fluctuates. I'll hear it in one ear, the right ear, or both ears when mine is activated and balanced as well. So the
Mhm.
feminine and the masculine gender energy also plays a role in this, and take note of what ear on what side that you hear it on. The left side is the feminine, the right side is the masculine, and this is a general rule of thumb that goes forward also with energetics in this dimension. There is masculine and feminine gender energetics, and mostly also not only because of the orientation of the energy with the gender, there is also the associated electric with the masculine and the magnetic with the feminine. So these are a couple good pointers to be aware of because they do play a role in each one's development and understanding more of the dynamics, what is occurring with the physical vessel. And yes, humanity also is in a period of super consciousness. And with Brother Everson, I love to use what he had shared because there's ganglions, and these are neural pathways that come from the human brain, and they began to come down behind the ears as well. And at least you can look at these as energetic antennas that receive and also emit, transmit energetic frequencies too, which is important. And it's part of your future abilities that you'll begin to discover. And it has to do with frequency, vibration to stabilize yourself in another version of Earth, heaven on Earth, if you will. So your physical vessels are already being prepared, and you can, each one can speed it up by being meticulous with what you eat and drink, what your habits are, and of course, your demeanor, how you are and how you act and your character. So we keep it simple. Believe in God, believe in heaven on earth, believe in yourself connected to that, and be responsible for and to your organic vessel because you're upgrading it to exist as a human soul in another reality, and it's important. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, we have everyone here going through, or most at least going through an important part of this process. So again, perhaps on a finishing note, everyone keep positive. Yes, we know the world problems, but at the same time, we have every solution. We just need the people to see and to see how easy it is and to believe it. And also with I had anticipated last week to be making more videos myself, but that didn't occur. I become divinely distracted by other things. But perhaps this week I'll be able to divinely get more things out. But it's also in divine timing. Father said no, more or less last week. So I'll see what this week presents. And and with I obey Father's words in the now moment, and I'm also on a divine need to know basis of if there's anything I need to do or what I can do, what I should not do, and I keep with that. But I'm on a need to know basis from divine instructions. So I'm given some general info that I do put out because the divine plan is fluctuating, and as I say, rarely does it change, but sometimes with certain things in between, it does tend to change. So everyone keep the faith is what I say, and we keep going forward because there is no going back. Thank you.
Yeah, so because we are in meeting of already 2 hours and a little bit more, if someone else wants to speak for today or has a subject. Yeah, if not, I would say for all the people that hear this video, so please share the message of GPMS and go on the website and read again the sovereign definition, because we see a lot of definition about sovereignty and the people are saying, I'm not even saying that I'm sovereign because it's such there are so many definitions about the sovereignty, and I'm saying all the time, please go on divine-gpms.world website and see what it is there and discover the powers inside of yourself and self-determination, that it is the first right written, the moral right of self-determination on the decree. And from there we start. So the decree, it's extremely simple. I cannot see any problem is just having our freedom and rights recognized as unlimited and unalienable. So basically implementation of do no harm as law, universal laws in general, and from there we start. So we create a monetary system, and the most important, our intrinsic value. So do not rely again on something that it is exterior of us. Yes, Rick. Do you have the hand raised?
Yes, I had to collect to get back here. What we're also putting on the website, I've got it written, that's what I was doing. It's titled to make this to make it much easier. So what I did is I got an outside critique, if you will, to look at how we could make the website with more information to span that gap so we can get to more people, if you will, to more of the levels of consciousness. And just to share what we have is we have to put on the website. We don't have it there yet. I believe it's 4 pages, and it's just answers for ones. It's a step through of like what happens on day one with GPMS implemented, and it's to give them an explanation so they see how it works. So we're putting that up as well because ones have questions, even though we got the mechanics and all of these things outlined, we'll add this other section, just giving ones, let's say, a typical day in in the GPMS world, and one moment. Just let me look at. So we got what happens on day one. Then we got who pays for GPMS. So we explained that. And then we have, no, that's the same one, might only have three. Then we have an example of a GPMS community, what it would look like and how it functions. Also, we have how the transition works as well. So we're putting a little bit more, if you will, of the nuts and bolts into it, yet to simplify it even more so that the people can get a more practical understanding of how the world functions. So we're going to put that on the website as well. And so I just wanted to share that. And with that, I'll say love, light, and gratitude, everyone. And I'll pass it back over to Sister Beatrice. And when she gives the word, then I'll stop the Facebook Live. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everyone that collaborates on the GPMS meetings. And thank you so much, Rick, for everything that you develop. I know that you are working very hard. And just we experience, because of everything that happened in this earth, different consciousness level. And some of us try to adapt to different levels just to bring the information there about GPMS. So I think that this will be working in short time from now, and the people will come forward with GPMS, and most probably, I really hope that the people will never experience to get back on the digital or something like, but even that they get there, they should know that there is a solution. It is divine-gpms.world. So just click there. You have only 2 minutes. Be there in, just share the message, even that you have not internet, via the messages, cell messages, friends, everything. And if this link will start to work finally, like if you tell to the 3 people today, tomorrow the 3 will tell to the other 3 and everything, in a couple of days you'll have GPMS done. So I really hope that this will happen. And what I would say, interesting, we are living in interesting times, we remember. But right now, really, we are, as Lodi said, during the process, and the full happiness will be when we experience GPMS on this place, on this earth. So thank you so much to everyone. And the most important, it's also to share the video, but the most important it is to share GPMS message. Thank you so much for everyone.
Great. So I'll end the Facebook Live, and thanks everyone. And as far as we know, we'll be back here next week, perhaps around the same time. So love, light, and gratitude to everyone watching. And I'm